should Canada's first past the post electoral system be changed?
I've done some reading on this, and I think the representative alternate forms of voting end up causing a whole different set of issues that I'm not sure that we would be prepared for. So I know there's other countries that do a good job of using other systems, but I think we're a ways away from being able to figure out how that would work.
Yes, but to what is, I think, the key part of that question, and I don't know the answer, and I'm not sure anyone has an ideal solution. I think it's a matter of experimenting and trying to find something that works better than what we currently have.
Absolutely, 100%. That needed to happen when Trudeau was elected, and he didn't make good on his promise, so absolutely needs to be changed.
The West seems to always get a raw deal because any election seems like it's decided by the time Manitoba, Alberta, Saskatchewan, BC get to vote. So I don't know what I think there's an inequality there, but again, there's less people here, so I'm not sure what the answer to that is.
I think Ontario, Quebec still have to have the majority of the seats because that's where most of the population. But I think it's the formula is very disproportionate to Western Canada, and there's got to be a better formula that can better represent the Western provinces and Atlantic provinces as well.
I haven't thought about it, honestly speaking. I think the current system is working for now. Not really in favor of changing it. I'm pretty sure that it was put in place for some good reasons. So again, I'm not really political or prepared to be able to challenge the decisions that they've taken in the past. So I would keep it as is.
Well, I'm torn because I'm more liberal for sure, but I can definitely see proportional being more representative of our population. So yeah, no, that's a difficult one to answer. I'd have to think more about that. But I do think it's really important that Canadian voices are heard on an equal level. Personally, I'm more of a liberal person.
If a majority of the weight is carried within the GTA and we elect both the Prime Minister and the Premier, how representative is the government? So, yeah, perhaps it should be proportionally weighted. Yes, it makes sense.
I think it should be, because I really think the individual voter should have the when you say you calculate in a strata, you make a group and then calculate the votes. It doesn't really give the individual the opportunity to kind of vote for themselves. If you do the other way around, I think the individual is addressed more that way. Yeah, so I think that should be something to consider for. Yeah,
I believe so. I actually come from a farm and a rural background, and I don't want to say, oh, we have it super bad, but there is a lot more population in these population hubs like Ottawa, Toronto, Montreal. So where more of the population is based is here. So if we changed it, I would feel we'd get less represented and we wouldn't be able to have a fair vote because there's less of us.
No, I believe that where most of the population is concentrated, I believe that their votes should be weighed a little bit more. I don't see how a riding that has, let's say, 35,000 constituents could be the same as a riding with 250,000, right? So I'm not sure, if that really answers your question. But I mean, in terms of what I think, if you look at the big city centers, whether it's Ottawa, Montreal, Toronto, Vancouver, there's larger populations there. I think they should count for a little bit more of the vote. It's not to say, obviously that there shouldn't be any representation anywhere else, but I do think that the higher the concentration, that the more the vote should count.
I think the Europeans have figured it out in general. I think there does need to be a change there. Yeah, I think proportional representation makes more sense on its face. I don't have strong feelings about that. I think it shouldn't be a drastic change. We should maybe do it from the grassroots up rather than the top down. Because I think you need to think locally first.